All right, there we go. All right, good afternoon, everybody. Thank y'all so much for joining. We got some people still entering in the room. And we're gonna get started with our webinar topic for today, which I'm super excited about. Okay, so we're gonna get a little pre-warning because if by chance the power go out, I will do my best to come back. But yeah, these storms don't play. Yeah, New York storms. I went to New York in September-ish one time, and it was bad out there too. I was like drenched trying to get to like the subway. Like it's crazy. Okay. But so I hope everybody else is safe and dry and enjoying your Monday. Okay. So on today's topic, if you guys had a chance to sit into last time, I was really trying hard not to go into this today's topic, but today's topic, we are talking about how to make six figures from partnerships. And it's really cool because this was a way that I had tested out with my company when I had brought on like a marketing company to work with one of my cleaning companies, like in the very, very beginning, right? Girls start making some money, right? We can get a little creative with some marketing. We don't have to just do the thumbtack and the Google. I'm like, what else is there, right? I'm tapping into everything. And one of the marketing ways that we had started going into was LinkedIn. And first I was like, what is LinkedIn? Okay, like I had no idea really what LinkedIn was or how I could use it for my business. What I thought LinkedIn was for people that's looking for jobs, right? But I had a lot to learn, right? When I started my cleaning business, like I mentioned and share with a lot of people, is that like I didn't know much of anything, right? My favorite saying literally was, I don't know what I don't know till I don't know it. And most times, once I figured out how to or knew it, right, it was a it was like, when the thing was done already, right? Like the incident was done already, the damage was done, the frustration, whatever, all the things had already hit. And because I started my cleaning business out of a need. It was straight out of a need. It wasn't like, oh, did you ever think you wanted a cleaning business? Right? Like, no. I did not think that way. My nana was a janitor at a college in LA. And I remember being a little girl going with her to clean on the weekends. I remember her coming home to visit. And I remember one time we were cleaning the house, and grandparents always want to clean the house when they come to visit, right? And we were cleaning the stove with a toothbrush. And I was like, yo, this is insane. This lady is tripping, right? And so like that was as far as my cleaning experience went. My dad is a retired SEAL, so it's like I grew up like having to have a super like clean house. Like I know we see a lot of things on social media and they're like, that black family that wake up Saturday morning with Patti LaBelle screaming or Gladys Knight, and you can smell the bleach and all the windows is open and all the blinds is open and you being woken up. Like it was like that, but to the 10th degree. Okay. Because it was like no bed can be like tightly made. Every drawer had to be like closed. Like my kids, they just throw things in their drawer. Like, no, everything had to be folded and put away and all that. It was insane. So it was never like I had a dream of opening up a cleaning business. It was out of a need. It was out of a need from a struggling season that my husband and I experienced where we lost everything. Okay. And when I mean everything, I mean everything. We pretty much just took what we could carry and get out. So I'm sitting in my mother's living room. Luckily, my parents relocated to Texas with us. And my husband was out in West Texas trying to get a job on the oil fields. And that oil ain't striking. Like, you see all these movies and all these things and talking about, how big the oil, like, it was not striking for us. All right. And I just had my youngest son, and I was just sitting with the need, like, yo, God, what we doing here? Like, why am I in this scenario? Like, how do we get here? Right. Um, every car evicted, the pink slip on the front door, walking up the stairs with your kids, and they're letting you know, like, look, you got 3 days. Right. So it was a very challenging time, but I needed to figure out something. And I just remember praying, and that was the answer that I got. And the answer that I got was to use my hands and to start a cleaning business, right? Now, because of my lack of knowledge and experience and understanding, I guess ignorance, right? Just because I just didn't know, I started a cleaning business with my own hands, right? And I actually did the cleaning myself. And having to do the cleaning myself is it's like I feel like two things. I feel like I have such a much greater appreciation for my cleaners. Like I love my cleaners. Like I don't know them on a super personal level. During the pandemic, I got a chance to because it was tight in these streets, right? And I was trying to help my team in any way possible. And, so I got a chance to know them a little bit more. Some of those cleaners are still with me, but like I have a much greater appreciation for them. But what I really love is that I have learned that you could start this business with pretty much being able to skip that part, right? That part is not absolutely necessary for you to be successful in this industry. For you to literally be able to start a remote cleaning business from home without you having to do the actual cleaning, right? So I don't never negate that season and that process because that was just my process. That's my story, right? I think it kind of strengthens the community more because I can also speak to those cleaners that are still in the homes, that are still doing the cleaning. I'm like, yo, sis, you got to get out. What we got to figure out? Like what kind of strategy? Like, have you started hiring? Like, what steps are we taking? Right? Because they're just not talking to anybody that haven't actually did the cleaning before, how to, clean some nasty houses and deal with some nasty, rude people, right? Um, but I love that I've been able to learn how to start this business without you having to do that, right? And having the proof that it is that people are not only capable of doing that, but actually able to achieve their financial goals with doing that without starting the cleaning, right? So I started this business not knowing anything, and as my business grew, I started trying to educate myself. Let me do some more Googling. How can I make this thing grow? How can I make this thing scale? Like what kind of communities or networks? Like how can I make this thing go? Because I see what it did, right? Within just a couple of months, I was able to like literally change our whole scenario, right? To where we were able to piece back our life. Now, I'm super grateful that my family and I are not materialistic people. Okay. It was a hit. And I think it was just more maybe I don't even want to say pride. I'm not really a prideful person, but it was more of just an emotional hit. I really wasn't sad about losing the things, right? Because I know that we can always gain the things back, but it was just to be able to like put our family back in a home together, right? For us to like have that peace and have that space, to have that peace of mind, that financial peace of mind, and not worrying about stressing about bills having to be paid, right? Like that was we were able to do that with the cleaning business, right? And still, my husband was still out in West Texas trying to find work because he's such a determined man. He's like, yo, the oil got to strike somewhere. So he's still out there trying to find work, and I'm building our family's financial situation or circumstances back with the cleaning business, right? So after my cleaning business started to grow, and we're starting to scale. I'm like looking at other possibilities. That's when I started looking and doing some research into some other marketing. Because if you guys know, like when I first started, I literally just Googled how to find cleaning clients. That was the Google search, and Thumbtack popped up. Okay. And I explored that and I loved that platform. Okay. But I wanted to figure out what else, because there had to be some other places, right? So I did the home advisor. Oh, no, take that back. I did not do the home advisors, but I tested out the home advisors and had the call. Angie, it was called Angie's List at the time. Now it's called just Angie. Okay. Changing the name like Prince and stuff. But so now it was just called Angie, and I didn't really care for those two platforms. I didn't really want to do the Craigslist. So I started looking into what Facebook ads, right? I started looking into just other marketing things, but I still didn't have that level of knowledge and skill set. So I worked with a company. Okay. Now, this is just how my brain works, but I love being able to like, what's the word called? Reverse engineer something. right? Like I was like, okay, I just need them to just do the things, and I just got to just watch them do the things, and then I could do the things. Okay, this is what I was thinking. So I hired this marketing company, um, and they were going to find lead generation through LinkedIn. Okay. And like I said in the beginning, I was super like, what are we doing here? Why are we what I'm not looking for a job. Why are we on Indeed? Or I'm sorry, not Indeed, but on LinkedIn. And then they started really explaining like the power of LinkedIn. Okay. And just the amount of networking that you can do on LinkedIn, just the amount of list building and network building you can do on LinkedIn. I'm currently working with two students in the academy right now, like literally right now where we're testing this out. And they're like, yo, Jazz, I really want my business to grow, but I don't have as much capital. How can I find clients for free? Okay. And I'm taking them on the journey on leveraging LinkedIn, right? And we're talking about list building, and we're talking about CRMs and how to what's the follow-up system and what messages to send, and what that process actually looks like, right? Now, yes, of course, is there a little bit more sweat equity in this? Yeah, because it's just a lot much more work. With Thumbtack, you build your platform out one time, you're good to go, right? You get the residual from that one time effort of creating your platform. Where with this, it's going to take a lot of effort. I'm not sure if anybody's currently in the what is it? In the hiring phase, but same thing, right? That takes a lot of effort to have to like build your list and can contact everybody. It takes some work. Okay. We're talking about how to build partnerships and how to build a six-figure income with just partnerships alone. And it's so crazy because I was hoping he was going to be on the call, because this was one of the industries that I also wanted to talk about as well, because I didn't even think about this as a potential partnership until I ended up working with him as a client. But one of the things that I love with working and looking to build networks with LinkedIn is those industries that are like our, services that were like our clients are their clients. I don't think services is a real word or the word I'm looking for, but what it is like we service the same clients. Okay. So when I use LinkedIn, what I'm doing for LinkedIn is I'm building out a list of a potential individual I can network and build a network with, right? To where we are going to be providing cross services, right? I can promote your services, you can promote my services, right? But he can go further than that. It's not necessarily just about promotion of services. This is like I can put your services on my booking koala as a service. So that way I'm not having to be on a call and be like, hey, by the way, do you need a moving service? Like, no, I can actually put that on my booking koala as an upsell, right? Hey, do you need smart home installation? Right? Look, do you not mount a TV, right? Like when people move in and move out, do you know how to take it off the wall? Can you patch the wall? Can you put it back up in your new home, right? I absolutely love move out cleaning services, because that is a top service that I can just max out. Right. There's so many different add-ons that we can create with this, right? So when you're using LinkedIn, you're wanting to utilize keywords looking for these individuals that offer services to your same exact clients, right? Write a list out of what those industries look like. Okay. You think about realtors, you think about real estate agents. I kind of think that's the same thing. Okay. Brokers. Okay. Apartment managers. Man, there's another one on my list. Apartment managers, brokers, real estate agents, right? All of those within that real estate realm, okay? Because they have people constantly moving in and out of properties, or they have individuals that's looking to get a old property clean or a new property clean, right? Like that is the top relationship. When money went low in our leads, or leads were coming in, I would just build that list out and contact that list over and over again, because they may not need it now, but they might need it later, right? Like I still have to this day real estate agents kind of like, hey, do you still have that cleaning business? Like I need some services, right? I got an Airbnb, or I got a client, and like, look, okay. But the thing about it is like you have to be so intentional about relationship building. I know that in this industry, we talk that it's a remote business. Like you can do it from the house. You don't have to talk to your cleaners. You don't have to know them, like, but there isn't a part of this business that can be very powerful with building relationships. And I love being able to build relationships like this because I'm a very introvert type of person. Okay. Now, yes, you can take it another level. If you're an extrovert and you love mingling and talking with individuals and putting a face to the name and shaking a hand and exchanging cards, okay, then yes, take it a step further and go to an actual networking event where these individuals meet up. Okay. We are in the season that people want to be outside, right? People want to be outside. There's an event going on for everything. Just sign up for Eventbrite. Okay. Put your interest in there and you will find an event for everything. Do the same thing for Facebook. But if you don't want to, you can do the same thing on LinkedIn. Okay. But you have to be very intentional with building the relationship. Okay. It's not just sending a cold email, right? It's like actually taking time to find out how to build rapport with this person. Okay. I sometimes share that I have a background, a small background in sales, and I have to be so intentional with um how I build relationships with this client because I need this client to spend a lot of money with me, right? I need them to buy a big product with me. I have to be very intentional, right? So take some time to go look at their profile, right? Look at their profile picture. Do they have any kids? What are their interests? What have they been doing during the summer? What has been things that has been occupying their mind? What are things that they're viewing? What are things that they're liking? Okay. And so that way you can find a common ground to build that rapport on. So if you see that this person has a daughter and she's just started horseback riding lessons this summer, then you can mention that. Right. It's not saying like to be weird stalkerish, right? Like, oh, you were at the stall number 5 last Friday with your daughter, Carolyn, right? No, we're not going to do that. Okay. We're going to be like, hey, oh my goodness, I see that your daughter has been doing horseback riding on the summer. How fun is that? I wanted just to chat with you, right? Like it's a warm breaker or icebreaker or whatever. Warm breaker, icebreaker. Goodness gracious, right? But it's just a way to be able to build rapport. So that way, when they see your message initially, right, they're not going to just scroll past you. Okay. Let them know also how is this going to help them. Sometimes code emails or messages on LinkedIn, it's all about how they can help you or how they can help me, right? Hey, I need you to do this for me because of this. But no. Let them know of like how this is going to help them as well. Not only will this be able to build a rapport and offer an additional services for their client, right? But it's going to strengthen their offer. It's going to strengthen whatever that they have because if they can say like, hey, we're going to be able to move you out of your home and don't worry about that move out cleaner. We're going to take care of that for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it builds and strengthens their offer as well. Okay. So you want to go through LinkedIn. Okay. Now, of course, let me just kind of scale back one moment because you do have to make sure that your profile is up to par. Okay. And in no way, this is my disclaimer that I'm saying I am a LinkedIn specialist. I'm just sharing what I have done, what I have studied, what I have known. But you want to make sure that your profile is up to standards. Okay. Nice professional profile picture, fill out your profile to the max. Okay. Create a separate LinkedIn account for you personally as a business owner, and then also for your business itself as well. Okay. So make sure that your profile, make sure that you're also engaging. Believe it or not, LinkedIn is a social platform. So with that being a social platform, there is spaces where you can engage, right? And it's not just you only posting ads or discounts or things about your business, but maybe it's for you on the personal side is you just sharing inside information, business tips, business um quotes or things of that way as well that can strengthen your profile. Okay. So make sure you have a good profile before you start reaching out to people. Because you know what they're gonna do when they see your message? You know, y'all ever got, somebody slid in the DM, right? What are you gonna respond to the message first, or are you gonna go check them out? Are you gonna go see what their profile is about? You scroll down, get some history, see what's going on, right? Before you start responding back to people all willy-nilly, right? So you gotta make sure your profile is up to par. So that way when they do go check your profile out, or whatever, then you will have a decent profile to be able for them to feel like this is a good person to network in. Okay. So reach out to these individuals And that way you can make sure that you're building rapport, right? So another thing that when I'm messaging these individuals, right, I'm telling them how this is going to benefit them. Then this is not a super long salesy email. This is not a super long salesy message, right? Because nobody wants to read that much. Really, nobody wants to read that much. It is literally just a few sentences. And I'm just thinking in my head that I'm going to actually email you guys my script that I use because I use the same one. I use the same one for our VA companies that we use for our those multiple companies, and we use the same exact email. And you know what I got? You guys know where I got that email from? The marketing company that I hired. I was like, I'm about to reverse engineer this. We're gonna work for 3 months. Just enough to be able to see the full process all the way through. Okay. And I would just see all the messages they're sending out. I would see what their follow ups are. I would see how they would communicate with the individual that respond back based upon what their response was, if they were interested, if they weren't interested, if they had some follow up questions, right? Like what information were they giving out? I just copied the blueprint. That's all I did. Okay. And then I started using it. I tweaked it some. But those scripts that they were emailing, I just copied and pasted in bad boys. Right. So it's not a super long message, right? And then also you went like back in those days, like I had to copy and paste that because I didn't have the experience, knowledge, or the know-how. But you know what we have now? Like we have Chat GPT, right? Like we kind of really don't have any excuse nowadays. We are living in the society of information overload. Okay, like you can find anything anywhere. And if you can't find it anywhere, then you can ask Chat GPT. And if Chat GPT don't know, then it's just not on the internet. Right? So that's one of the amazing things about making sure that you can find that information. But I am going to send you guys that script. So everybody that registered, right? I'm going to send you guys, will get an email because I have you guys email from the registration. So that way you guys can see that and you guys can start sending these messages out, right? And this is just an introductory. This is, hey, how are you doing? I building some rapport. So I consider my rapport like my bridge to the offer, right? But my offer is not telling them what they can do for me. My offer is telling them how us working together, how us building a partnership can benefit them. Okay. And then that's when I go into like, hey, I would love to be able to chat and give you some more information. Or if I'm reaching out to like an apartment complex manager or owner or somebody in that space, then the verbiage is just me getting on their vendor list because that platform or that way looks a little different than just a real estate agent. Okay. Now, how I know right now we're just talking about real estate agents, but how I do this same process for this industry type is the same that I would do for others. Okay. So my next favorite one is going to be moving companies. Moving companies all day long is moving people from a home to another home. Okay. From a home to another home. And those individuals that's moving from a home into a home need their homes clean. Okay. So now the only thing is that not a lot of moving companies are on LinkedIn as much as real estate agents. Okay. Now I would still recommend searching, okay, using keywords and searching for them on there. But if you can't find them, then you're going to have to do it the old school way. I was about to say Rolodex. Some of y'all probably don't even know what a Rolodex is, okay? But you may have to get on Google, okay? And then you're just searching out moving companies in your area. Wherever the area that you plan to offer services, that is where you want to build out your list. So just create a list, right? You can use a CRM platform like Salesforce, or Google. You can create a chart on Google what is it, Google Sheets or Excel. Okay, so you take it as far as you want to take it, right? But you do want to have a place to be able to store this information and be able to organize this because you want to make sure that you're following up with these individuals. Okay, so you got to go to Google, go to Yelp, Bing, Yahoo, right? Every platform, and build out a list of potential moving companies. Now, you can get a little you can kind of like with the actual physical networking events, right? You can kind of take this in one or two ways. Now, with the moving companies, what I did was I would have my husband because he is the extrovert, okay? So I would have him actually go to the moving company offices, okay? Most moving companies are owned by men. Sometimes a woman will work the desk, but most moving companies were owned by men, okay? And I'm not saying that it's a sexist world. I'm just saying I just know how to play the game, all right? You know how to play the game, then you have a chance to win. So I would send my husband to go and be the spokesperson and try to build rapport. Okay. And then, of course, we would do our due diligence and we would call, text, email, all the thing. Take the same script, right? Email them. So I have to try to find their emails. Sometimes they don't have emails, okay? But they'll have a phone number and I'll call them, okay? Because y'all know sometimes men just don't have all the things. And I'm so sorry for all the men on the call. I'm definitely not talking about y'all, okay? But that was just out of my experience. Like when we were going doing the search, not a lot of them have always, they didn't always have a website or, you know, so we have to find a phone number. They didn't always have an email or even a professional email. But we would reach out to the same thing. Now, what I loved about the moving company though is that we kind of did our working system, or I created the add-on actually on my BK, okay, to where when somebody needed a moving services, they would purchase the moving services on my BK. Now, of course, there were some variables based upon other moving parts, but I just had the disclaimer on there. So what I would do is I would find out how much the moving services cost. Okay. And then I would put our upcharge fee on that, and they would purchase the moving services directly on Booking Koala. That's why it's my favorite. Okay, that's why it's my favorite. So then when I would partner with these moving companies and we would schedule their moving services, I would make the payment to them, and any kind of like variable changes, they would handle those additional costs, right? As into like, oh, you guys said you had 16 boxes and it's 30. That's a big difference. Or something of that sort, right? Or you said you lived on the second floor and you're on the third floor. So stuff like that, right? Now, what you could do to kind of avoid that, if you're like, yo, I didn't want to deal with all of that, then you could just do a 20% down payment and you can make them pay the down payment of the percentage of the cost. And then you have, they can pay the total amount at the time of booking or like whatever the requirements were. Now, the only thing is I didn't want to risk them not like falling out or changing their mind and not paying. Now, of course, the deposit was non-refundable and you like, I got my money, right? But I'm trying to build rapport, right? I'm trying to build relationships. So I didn't want to work with that to where like they feel like I was getting paid advertising their services, but they were falling out. So you can find a unique way to make that work. But I felt like the easiest at the time was doing it like that. So yeah, so moving companies. Moving companies are awesome. All right. Another one that's very similar to that line is junk removal. Junk removal companies, okay? Because junk removals when they're having to go into a home. Now, this is different from them just having to pick up junk from the curb, okay? But if they're having to move junk from the home, then also having a partnership to where you can clean the house after the junk is removed, that is also an excellent partnership. Now, that level of cleaning is not a traditional deep cleaning service. So you have to know what you're getting yourself into. That falls more in the line of the heavy duty cleaning. Okay. I was going to say borderline hoarder, but you're not removing the things from the home. The things should be removed from the home already. So you're just going in and just physically cleaning the spaces. Okay. Um, Yes. So this, but what I'm talking about now, yes, is pretty much like a B2B, right? Not necessarily commercial, but it is a B2B services as in like partnering with a business. Good question. I was literally looking for events. Or someone like I was already looking for events. No, it's really if you are an extroverted type of person that likes to commingle and network, totally look for events because they're definitely out there. Okay. So partnering with junk removal companies was perfect. Okay. It was so perfect that my husband ended up just starting his own junk removal company because we saw how much junk removal was charging, and it was literally just taking junk out of a house and putting it in a dumpster. Okay. But I would have him physically go if they had an office, or and like same thing with the junk removal companies. Some of the companies are like your more commercial size, right? King of Junk, like the red one, 1-800 junk removal. Um, but like I'm talking about like those the smaller companies, right? The smaller contractor company, not necessarily the big ones, right? Again, they maybe didn't have a website, they maybe didn't have an email or a business email. It just read John's junk at gmail.com. Okay. So, trying to build a relationship with them was a little bit different, but I just put that task on my husband. Okay. The next service that I love partnering with is lawn. Now, the only thing with lawn is it's seasonal, okay? But lawn services are amazing because they and their companies are in front of clients 2 to 3 times a week. Right? Like I just got my grass cut last week and this rain is gonna grow it like a sprout. So they're gonna have to come another time. So that way, we'll get a letter from HOA like, hey, did you not see the hurricane come through, right? So they are in front of clients all the time. So partnering with lawn services is amazing. In the beginning, I would literally like have my ears to the street. Is that a lawnmower? And I would go talk to the people like, hey, do you own this company? Do you do those lawn services yourself? Like, what we doing here, right? Like, where's the boss? Don't they? Where he at? Right. And I would build relationships with them and they would partner because if I can tell them, like, hey, my cleaning clients, they have homes and they need their lawn cares. Yours have homes and they need their house is clean. Right. So that's also another amazing partnership. And like you said, same thing, not a lot have websites. So you just got to be unique with it. I feel like I talk to a lot of individuals that are frustrated when they're not getting clients or they're not getting business. And I always ask if you guys ever look on Facebook and, we have this weekly thread where I'm trying to ask individuals about, like what's their struggle with their business. I always ask, well, what are you currently doing? Like what lead generation are you currently doing, right? And paid or not paid, right? How you having trouble finding cleaners? What are you currently doing? Where are you looking for cleaners? How many people have you reached out to, right? So the thing about it is that opportunities are there, but sometimes we're not willing to put in like that real like nit gritty elbow grease kind of work. We just really want it to be easy. We want us to be able to put the money on Thumbtack, put the money on Yelp, put the money in Google, and have them come to us. And maybe not every season is going to be a come to us kind of a season. Maybe this is find where they at and go to them kind of a season. Maybe this is staying up all night trying to get your script together, build out a client list and call, right? And you have everything highlighted. On Fridays, I call red. On Tuesdays, I call blue. On Wednesdays, I call green. And now I know that in 2 weeks, I'm going to follow with that same color system and follow up with them again. Like that was my follow-up system because I was relentless. If I'm not anything, I am persistent. Okay. And I don't take no for an answer. It may be a not yet, but it's never a no. All right. So what are the things that we're doing? So yes, we're talking about how to build six figures with just partnerships. This is on top of if you are doing really well with regular lead generation. Okay. And also, not to mention, I mentioned it earlier, one that I never even thought about. And I didn't think about it until I started working with him and he came on live with me. Hello, sir. He has an amazing business setup where he offers it together, right? I told you guys, like, my husband was like, yo, this junk removal is kind of cool. Like, I can find people that have a truck and that have a dumpster and have them. I was like, yes, honey, you do the same. It's the same thing, babe. Like, just do the same thing. Right. So we literally started a junk removal company, or I didn't. Cause I was like, if you're doing that, you doing that on your own. All right. But no, so another industry that you can partner with is smart home installations, right? Like I have a TV mount in every room of this house and I didn't do it. And my husband is not the fix it person. Okay. I did not marry the fix it person. I married the call somebody to fix it person. All right. So every TV, every picture, every light fixture, I need my door fixed. And he's like, call the handyman. right? So partnering with those, because every time somebody moves in and out of a place or they purchase something, electronics are heavily purchased during when Black Friday, Christmas season, right? They need those TVs mounted. They need their security systems installed. They need their speaker systems installed, right? These companies are literally inside of the homes that you need to service. So being able to partner that with them also, like I said, not only strengthens their offer, but strengthens yours as well, right? David was like, we're about to do this thing together. Okay. And that is how you can make sure to scale your business. You can be unique in your service. Okay. So, smart home installation, look, I don't know what the keywords all the way for those besides what I mentioned, right? Because the biggest thing is TV installment, right? So literally you can go to Facebook Marketplace. Okay. Again, these might be individuals that don't have a physical website or a real email address. You're gonna find them though on Facebook Marketplace. Okay. Or if you are in the Dallas, Texas area, reach out to David because that is what he does. Okay. And then you can build rapport with these individuals and offer these as a service on your BK. Find out what their price points are. Put your cut on the top. Hey, David, I got a so and so on what you call it on so and so. Are you available on so and so? Cool, awesome. Connect it. He shows up to provide the service. You get paid the amount. You pay David what he gets paid, right? So this is what we're talking about with being able to partner with other outside companies, okay? And then another one is handyman, right? Where was I at? I forgot. I was somewhere out of town, and y'all know every time I'm out of town, I'm always scoping out areas. I can always tell when I'm driving around, I'm like, this could make a good area. And I remember I was Googling cleaning companies in this area because I started doing the research, trying to figure out how many's out here, what is their average price point, okay, what are their services like? And it was crazy because for the first time, I was seeing cleaning and handyman companies combined together, right? Y'all, we live in this age of this soft life world, right? Y'all see this on social media, like, I ain't touching anything, right? I mean, or we just don't know how to. Like I said, my husband got the plumber, the what is it? The plumber, the handyman, all on speed dial, okay? Like, I had to tell my handyman, just show me how to change the filter thing because it's up in the attic, okay? And it's like, my husband's like, I am not going up in there in that attic. I was like, you are so bougie, okay? And I was like, just show me because we can't keep having you come out here and pay all this money just to change a doggone filter once a month, all right? But there's a lot of people like that. And again, these people are inside of your potential customer homes, patching up holes and fixing baseboards and painting and trim and fixing leaks and doing all the things, right? Directly in your client's home. Your the people that's not cleaning their houses are the same people that's not fixing their houses. It's the same people that's not packing their houses, the same people that's not mowing their lawn. Can we keep on going? Right? So when we're thinking out of the box like that, right? Where these individuals are in you're not in your client's home, but they are, like, that's an extra touch point right there. Those individuals in their house. I know my handyman really well. Okay. Juan comes upstairs and he'd be like, yo, I'm here. Cause he got to do a little call out, right? Cause I'm in my office. I'm like, no worries. Hey, how's the kids? Cool. How's 4th of July? Awesome. All right. All done. All right. Bye, Juan. Once a month, like clockwork. And I'm like, look here, show me how to change this doggone thing. Okay. So could you imagine being able to partner with somebody like that that's inside the head? Hey, Jazz, I got a cleaning company that I started partnering with. Do you also need your house clean? No shade, but right? Like, you may need your house clean, right? I can hook you up. Okay. So being able to think out the box like that and partner with individuals like that is an amazing opportunity. And like I said, it's not meant for everybody. And you mean like, yo, Jazz, this is amazing information, but I'm just gonna put my money in Thumbtack and Google and call it a day. Awesome, do that because it does work. That's what I teach, right? But I also understand that there is a demographic of other students, and there's other business owners and other entrepreneurs that's all in other levels and areas of their business, right? They may not at the time have access to capital. if I would have known about this way, like, see, I didn't learn about this until I had the money, right? If I would have learned about doing this, if Google would have said, yo, get on LinkedIn, get the list, contact the people, call the, call the moving companies, call the junk. If Google would have told me that, I would have still been mad successful. And I would have found Thumbtack late. I would have found Thumbtack later, then would have had real money to put on Thumbtack, right? I had $25 to put on Thumbtack. We bootstrapping this thing, okay? That's what I did. So best believe if Google would have told me that first, I would have did exactly that, and I would have still been mad successful with my cleaning business doing it that way, because where I was at, I was relentless. Like, yo, it's 3 kids and a mom and a husband in one bedroom sleeping across from your parents, and all 7 of y'all share a bathroom. Okay, what we doing? A shower? Like, what we doing in this small space? Now, I was extremely grateful because it could have been worse, and I could have been on the streets in some homeless shelter. Okay, so I'm extremely grateful. But I knew that I had to get out. I knew that I had to do the things, right? So self-awareness, right? See the season in the area that you may be in, or you may be like, yo, Jazz, I'm gonna do both and kill them both and be mad successful at both. Do that, boo, and make sure you tell me how it went. Okay, don't be stingy, let me know. But if you are in a season to where it's like, I want my cleaning business so bad, like, what we got to do. I'm not giving up. It may not look like how it's supposed to right now. It may not going to be how easy as I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to be able to just set up all my things and bada bing, bada boom, we millionaires overnight, boo, right? If we're willing to put in the work, and we're willing to do the things to get us from point A to point B to point C to point D, then do the things, right? They was like, look, I'm already creating the list. Okay. Do the things. Do the things. Okay. So I see some questions popping up in the chat. How much would you take for yourself when establishing these partnerships? So I think it depends. I normally like to do 20%, right? If in the beginning and I'm building, I normally like to do 20% on top. That's normally like the rate that I normally start at, but it really does depend on, because the thing about it is I'm doing the same market research as I do for my company. So I'm looking at seeing like, what are normal companies charging for home installation, smart home installations? What are normal companies charging for lawn? What are normal companies charging for X, Y, and Z, right? I'm also looking because I don't want to just partner with anybody, right? Because if I'm trusting my clients with that service, I got to make sure that their service is still up to par. So I'm trying to check for, clients or references or reviews, and, making sure that I am making the smart partnerships, right? We still want to operate in wisdom. So do the research, find out what the average price point is, and then normally I charge the 20% on top if I'm charging in-house. Okay. And we're like, they're actually clicking on the where they're actually clicking on the thing. And we think about like, well, 20% isn't that much. But if you get 5 move in and move out cleanings, and all of them will add on a package for, because, they got kids like me and they kick the ball in the house, like we over here in the World Cup, okay? And we got holes to patch when we're moving out, right? Like, they need a handyman. They need to take their TVs down. They need to put their TVs up. They need some junk removed because they're not taking that sofa or the fridge or the deep freezer that ain't been touched in 3 years, right? So you think about all these services that can add on. I did a whole YouTube video a while back on like how to like 10x every single move out cleaning. But if you don't have the relationships built or the options on your platform for them to click on it, then they'll just never know. Because what they're going to end up doing, like, they need those services, best believe they need those services, right? But what they're going to have to do is just go find them elsewhere. But if you can make it easier for them, then it can make it easier for them. During the pandemic, I had to get creative, okay? I should do a whole training on this. But I had to get creative because, like I said, I built a relationship with my cleaners, and I was trying to do everything to make sure that I can provide something for them. So like, I had started like this move out concierge service. Okay, it was called Move Out Dallas, all right? And the reason why we did that is because we were in now it didn't last long because Dallas folks be tripping, but we were in that lockdown era, right? Where nobody was able to go in and out. But the thing about it is like we maybe couldn't service our in-house clients. Like I said, Texas is crazy, so we still service some of them. But with the move in and move out, nobody's inside the house. So we could go in the house, spray everything down, clean the house, right? Do all the things, pack up the house, box the house, clean the house, move the house, and then spray our way on out, right? So that was something that we did during the pandemic. So like I said, it's just a matter of just doing the research, finding the pricing points and making sure that you just create that structure. Um, but at the same time, I would like to do the move out and move in cleanings as well. Yeah, no, look, I just gave you a whole plan. I just gave you a whole blueprint. Um, how much, I think answer that question. Do you have to start off with residential cleaning first, or can you start with commercial cleaning? I'm learning more of wanting, I'm leaning more on wanting to start with cleaning offices. You know, so in my opinion, I feel like starting with residential um is a little bit more easier with having to know things. Commercial is now, it's not to say that you can't, okay? So like I feel like if you have the grit and the desire to start whichever one, then you're going to be successful at it. Okay. Is there more different aspects for commercial? Yes. Is the pay different with commercial? Yes. If you're cleaning big commercial, small commercial, are they paying on a 45-day net, 60-day net, 30-day net? Right. So, what kind of services do they need? Do they need their floors buffed or waxed or exterior windows? So like these are all these are services that you'll need to make sure that your commercial cleaning contractors would need to provide, right? So it's just a little bit more to know with going into that space. But again, there's more to know with residential. I'm always going to say residential because I just love residential. I feel like there's no way you can lose in residential. I was also thinking of providing these partnerships as a concierge service. See, look, we be thinking alike. No, for real, it definitely bailed us out during the pandemic. We were gonna keep it, but residential just picked back up, and that was when people were super spooked and like they were wanting to get fogged. Okay, every time they came back home and left somewhere, so we didn't. We just kept what we were doing because we were already doing move in and move out cleaning. Okay. Any other questions? I hope this was helpful for some of you guys. Maybe not what you guys thought you were going to listen to today, but I hope that it was helpful and just giving you a unique perspective on other ways to find potential clients that may not be as costly. Now, like I said, you're going to have to put some sweat equity in it. But like I said, it's not as costly. Nothing that I said would cost you money. I think the only thing that you have a potential of costing you something would be if you want to upgrade your LinkedIn account to a business, so that way you can get more access to like message more people and things like that. But otherwise, everything that we talked about was sweat equity. Okay. But I also want to talk to you guys about the upcoming master workshop because I love doing these webinars. They're super fun. They're super quick and fast. I come up here and I talk and we chat and we laugh and we hang. But it sometimes is not enough context for you to really take everything that's needed to be able to be fully successful in your business. So everybody that I always talk with, they always want to know like, how can I do, or what do I need to do, or what do I need help with, or I need help with this, or how can I find this, or this isn't working, right? And y'all know I'm very forthcoming with information, but sometimes it takes more than that. So I had this master workshop class that I hold every other week. This month, I'm only doing one though. Okay. July is a busy month. We got school and back to, y'all know all the things. Okay. And so I'm only doing one this month. Only doing one. It starts on next week on the 16th of July and 17th. It's a 2-day webinar. And I'm really excited about this one because I'm doing something a little different. I had an opportunity to test this out working with the one-on-one with a couple clients today and last week, to where we actually did hiring together, build the flow of it, and actually had them reach out two potential cleaners live together. We're like, oh my God, a follow-up came in where we're send this. Was it okay? They just follow back. What am I saying? Send this. Okay. All the way to actually getting on the phone and doing an interview. Now, we probably won't do the interview, but we never know. Okay. We just kind of never know. Okay. But during this live master shop, I'm doing some things different in this upcoming one, especially when it's a hiring, because the goal for this master workshop, it is supposed to be a done with you 2-day live 4 hours each day workshop. Okay. But sometimes what it tends to be is I'm going to watch Jazz do the things, and then I'm going to say I'm learning the things and I don't remember the things. And then I'm like, yo, Jazz, how you do X, Y, and Z again? And I'm like, weren't you in the class? Okay. So the goal is for these workshops that you guys are actually the ones doing the things, right? I know how to do the things. I can do the things in my sleep. Okay. So the goal is for you guys to get comfortable. It's for you guys to get all the feels out, okay, and send that initial message to that potential cleaner and practice on your script. Because unfortunately, the only way you're going to get better in this thing is by actually doing the things. In order to be, you must do. Right. But sometimes we want to be before we do, and we never do the things to be what we want to be. And then we just stuck wondering why I'm not what I am. Okay. So the goal for this live 2-day workshop is to get you guys to do the things on your own, right? Day 2, we are actually setting up you're booking koala. Okay. We are going over SOPs. We are going over sales calls. We are going over follow-up scripts. We're going over all the things that you need to operate your business. And the best part about this is only $37. Now, if you want to upgrade a VIP, because you're like, yo, Jazz, I need to have a one-on-one because I got mad questions to ask you, with the VIP of an additional 147, still 147, and I still offer payment plans with that. Okay. Hook up with Klarna or Afterpay. And not only will you be able to have a 30-minute one-on-one call with myself, but you will also be able to get access to the replays. Okay. So that way, if you did miss something that I said, you can revisit the replays and get access to that information, and then do the things, and then watch the video and do the things. But the real goal is for you guys to do the things while I'm doing the things. Okay. As we're setting up your legions, set it up with me, boo. Okay. As we are building out your potential cleaners list, build your cleaners list, boo. Okay. With me live. All right. Because I've seen it work, right? I was able just to ease the thought process of what the hiring looks like when they actually did the things, right? I have one-on-one calls every Tuesday, my one-on-one day. Every day I'm showing the things, we're talking the things. They're like, one day, you know what? Hello, sir. Let's flip this screen. Go ahead and log in, do a share screen for me. And he's like, what are we doing? Yes, we're going to have you do the things. Okay. And you're going to send this text message, and you're going to reply, and you're going to build this list. You're going to copy and paste all these names and phone numbers and all this information, because it does you no good when I'm doing the things. Now, unless you're one of our done for you clients, okay, and you're paying us to do all the things, best believe we're going to do all the things. But baby, if you're not a done for you client, you are going to be doing it with us, because it makes no sense for you just to watch and not do the things. Okay. So in the link, you guys, I put the link in the chat. Okay. Like I said, I'm only doing one class this month. So don't be like, oh, just catch the next one. No, no, no. The next one won't be until August. All right. So go ahead and sign up for the workshop. Like I said, it is on the 16th and the 17th. And starts from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay. Sometimes we go over just depending on Q&A and information that needs to be exchanged. But other than that, it is a 4-hour class. Okay. And I take up every minute of it. Okay. Let's see. I see some more questions are popping in. And yes, like I said, there are payment plans for the VIP. You can use Klarna or Afterpay. Regular general admission, though, you still get all the goods. You still get all the same information. It's only $37. Okay. Yeah, see, Amber says I love doing the things. I am a doer. Like, like I don't really learn as listening, and if I do listen, I gotta listen heck of times just to get it to click. What is the fee for the done for you service? Our done for you service is a premium done for you service where we will literally build out your entire business for you. The current cost of our services is $6,997. Again, we do offer multiple payment options available for that as well. As of right now, we do have a wait list, but I still eager or overstress anybody that is interested to get on the wait list. Because once it opens, then you'll have the opportunity to get access to our program. Right now, my goal is to really get some of our clients done when we're trying to, like, we're at that home stretch where we're doing their hiring. Our goal is to hire 3 cleaners for each company, and that's where our focus is really on right now. But if you are interested in the done for you service, send me an email, Jazmine at ceocleaningacademy.com. I'll pop that email address in the chat for you. But yeah, send me an email if you have any questions. We can definitely hop on a call and chat, and I can give you some more information about our program. It is definitely one of my favorites. I love being able to like help the business grow and build a relationship with that owner because we have meetings once a week. So we're constantly chatting. And then my goal is to help you get your money back, right? And my goal is to help get you to profit with you operating business your first 30 days. So we chat a lot. So I absolutely love working with our done for you services. If I can find you the email address, then I can send, I'm going to send you, I'll put the email address in the chat. If anybody has any questions, just feel free to email me. And then the link for the master workshop is in the chat. I don't want you guys to miss this master workshop. Okay. So if you're hesitant or if you think you need to be there, then that means you do need to be there. Okay. Don't double think. Don't double think. Act now. Go off of what you know that you need and just get inside the class. Okay. It's $37. If you later want to upgrade a VIP, like, I don't want it, I don't know if I need that, but you later change your mind, just secure your spot now. So that way you can make sure that you're in the room for our next workshop on next week, 16th and the 17th. What plan? Good question. Cause that is something that I do advise. You guys will get an email. I do advise you to have your BK set up like you already signed up for the platform. But I always recommend the middle one. I think it's $57. It provides like the best amount of features. The 197 one is cool. It has a lot of additional add-ons that may not be necessary. So, that's just my intake. But I do recommend the middle one. And then now the $27 one, I don't know what that one doesn't have, but I know when individuals are setting it up, there are questions that I'm reading off on the $57 plan that's not visible on the 27. So I don't know what that plan doesn't have, but I'm sure if you go to their website, you can look to see what features are available on both one. Okay. All right. And Tyrone, you just jumped on and we're just wrapping up. We will have another summer webinar series on this coming Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you guys mark your calendar. The link for registration will be out soon. I don't remember the name of that topic, but but it is already out. So I will see you guys on next Thursday. And then I hope to see you guys all at the Master Workshop though. Okay. I'll pay whatever for the done for you because the way my life is set up. Yo, that was the reason why the done for yous were set up in the first place. Cause my entrepreneur friends was like, I need a cleaning business because I see what it did for you. I just don't have the time. So it started with one client and it just built up to multiple clients. And that was literally, I was like, oh, I could do it for you. I can't do it. So yeah, so that was how the done for you, and it kind of just evolved, and we really been able to build the program and make some tweaks and changes and really like making it something really, really special. So these last 2 quarters has been amazing, trying to see how we can tweak it and make it better for everybody, taking feedback, taking what's not working, taking what is working, taking what's beneficial, like, oh, that's just cute because it's in there, but it's not really doing nothing. So yeah, I'm excited about the done, and we're still making tweaks, we're still making changes, and it's pretty dope though. I love it. All right, y'all. Thank you all so much for hanging with me. I will see you guys later. You guys have an amazing evening. Get some rest. Bye, y'all.